What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a new Transformers character card to be talking about. The lovely folks over at Transformers TCG Towers, to be specific, the lovely Matt Smith, not that one, has gone and shared a really nice article about going all in, explaining about Micromasters and their design philosophy and all kinds of fun stuff. Really good, give it a read. I like it very much. And as they tend to do with these articles nowadays, he's dropped a spoiler for Raider Roadhugger. And this is a really exciting Micromaster. Remember, Micromasters are small cards. Very literally, they are printed on smaller pieces of cardboard. Yeah, a little bit weird, but kind of cool. We know they're going to be 4 or 5 stars. This is a 5-star character, and we know that we're going to have low stats here, and I suppose as weird as it sounds, we're not disappointed. You see, we got a health of 7, which is bad, a defense of 1, which is fairly bad, and an attack of 3. Now, health of 7, defense of 1 means you are not staying around for very long at all. Weak character will be taken out very quickly. I do like the attack of 3 and we'll get there in a moment. But we do need to mention that in alt mode, you have stealth when untapped. And that's really important. When you're untapped, you've got stealth. Stealth means that your opponent must attack other characters if able. So if all of your characters are untapped, your opponent has to go after somebody else. If Raider Roadhugger is tapped, you unfortunately use the skill, so it's kind of irrelevant. But it means that for as long as you are untapped, your opponent has to go after somebody else, which is lovely. Because otherwise this wouldn't last 5 minutes. Because it's got health of 7 and a defense of 1. And remember, if you go first, all of your opponent's characters are untapped, so you get a basically free shot on whoever you want, and it would be very easy to just take this boy down. But it's got stealth when untapped, that's very nice. But so do all the Micromasters. Now, in terms of the attacking here, it can work. Because you see, in both bot mode and alt mode, you are a melee character. Now, attack of 3 isn't phenomenal, but for a 5 cost, attack of 3 is quite nice. It's not too bad. But what we do like very much indeed here, melee character, so you can use Power Sword. And now all of a sudden you're a character with an attack of 3 and bold 3, meaning you are flipping 5 battle cards when attacking rather than the usual 2. And that's alright, we're not in phenomenal territory here. But as a 5-cost character, this puts you into fairly decent attacking range. Not terrible, but we can work with this. Incidentally, you will also get access to body armor, which gives you tough 3. But you've got a health of 7 and a defense of 1. The thing is, if you're boosting your attack here, you could legitimately start getting a bit of damage on the field. If you're boosting your defense, there's still a decent chance your opponent can one-hit you anyway. Because let's say you get really tough and you really boost up your defense, you got a health of 7. So anyone using Pierce, think Megatron, or anyone going cheeky damage, think things like Photon Bomb or Plasma Burst, and you just aren't lasting long at all. So maybe you can be used as an attacker. Or maybe you can be used to boost your other attackers. Because like all the Micromasters, you have a tap skill in bot mode. And it reads, when you tap it, you scrap a blue card from your hand, one of your characters gets +3 attack until end of turn. Now, all of these Micromasters so far, they've got these tap abilities, and they actually do match beautifully with an existing battle card. And what's even cooler is they always end up having to discard a card that has the same color battle icon as the card it is aping. For those of you that haven't got it, it is Leap into Battle, which is a blue card, obviously, that gives one of your characters +3 attack until end of turn. So this is a 5-cost character that gives you a free leap into battle. I adore this. And this leads you to the conclusion of playing a blue deck, a more defensive deck, and just boosting your attack through artificial means. Because you are giving your character +3 attack without actually playing any kind of upgrade or any kind of action. So let's say you use this while also playing a leap into battle. Oh look, you've just given one of your characters +6 attack. Maybe you want to add an upgrade in there as well. Maybe you want to use an Energon Axe. Now you would have to be damaged in order to do that, but now you've got +9 attack. Incidentally, if you're not damaged, you could always go Primary Laser. Primary Laser only gives you +2, but it does have a blue icon, and it can be attached to any character whether they are damaged or not. And that's essentially what you can do. If you really want to maximize this, play a bunch of blue actions so that when you're defending, you're going to flip a whole bunch of blue icons to boost your defense. But you've also got a bunch of blue icon cards ready to discard to use this tap ability. But you're also boosting your attack because you're playing cards that boost your attack, as obvious as that might sound. And now we can work with this. You can use your action, your ability, and your tap ability for the turn, and all of a sudden one of your characters is getting +9 attack, and that's a little bit ridiculous. And remember, tap abilities are in addition to everything else. During your turn, you may flip a transformer, play an action, play an upgrade, and use a tap ability. Remember, though, that essentially what happens is you take it in turns to have a turn with your opponent. And at the end of your turn, you look to see if you've got any untapped characters to attack. If you've got untapped characters but your opponent doesn't, you attack with all of your characters, think of it like all-out attack, and then your opponent has a turn again. What this means is that if you are tapping characters early, as you will be with these Micromasters, you are essentially giving your opponent an extra attack. You're not giving them an extra turn, but it means instead of them having a turn, you have a turn, them having a turn, you having a turn. It's you go, they go, and attack with 2 or 3 characters at once. And that can be a problem. That can give them, well, a leg up, to be frank. And there's an example that Matt Smith gave in the article, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful example, and I'm going to out and out steal it, unashamedly so. So let's say you're playing Ramjet. Now, the reason Ramjet is important is because it is a 7 attack character. It's a very fancy attacking character. If you prefer, you could use Grimlock. The problem is Grimlock tends to go with some orange cards, but as long as it's a 10 cost, or even an 11 cost would work, and it's got a high attack, we're cool. We don't mind this. So now you're actually rocking with a 10 attack Ramjet. But actually, ladies and gentlemen, it gets better because there is a brilliant, brilliant combo here with Thrust. Also, incidentally, Ramjet has a really good attack before flipping, whereas Grimlock has to flip afterwards. Not a huge problem, it just forces you into using the flip on Grimlock, and you may not wish to. And then we got the combo with Thrust. Now, Thrust is kind of similar to this. Because what Thrust does is it allows you to tap Thrust and then boost one of your character's attacks by the attack of Thrust. Now, the great combo with this, of course, as many people know, is to whack a grenade launcher on there, because grenade launcher gives you +4 attack but falls off when you attack, except Thrust isn't attacking, he's boosting someone else's attack, so you're golden. But let's say you've just got Thrust. Well, now all of a sudden, Thrust, plus our Micromaster friend Roadhugger, on a Ramjet here, gives you 13 attack, and that can be done on the very first turn of the game. Because remember, on the very first turn of the game, you cannot play an action, and you cannot play an upgrade, but you can use a tap ability. So, you could get 13 attack before your opponent's even done a thing. Now, at this stage, it gets a little bit complicated because you've got an attack of 13, and then you take out your opponent's defense, and then you add on any orange icons you flip and take away any blue icons they flip, etc., etc. But this is probably going to get you a KO, which means you can take out one of your opponent's characters before they've even got going. And that's huge. Downside, you leave all your characters tapped. Which means, okay, you might take over one of your opponent's characters, you might take them off the board, but they will then have their turn, all your characters will be tapped, so then they will be able to attack with all of their characters before everybody untaps and you go again. I expect people to make this deck, and I don't know if it will be with Ramjet, but I do expect people to make this deck where they just sit there and smash using Thrust and Roadhugger to just do more damage than they should be able to do. And that's why Roadhugger is so gosh darn exciting. This might be my favourite Micromaster that I've seen so far. I'm not 100% sure, but I do like it very, very much indeed. There is a lot of potential. And sure, there'll be games where you don't have a blue icon card in your hand, but really, if you want to be relying on this, you should play a few blue icons. That should be fairly obvious. So that's what I think about it, ladies and gentlemen, but I would very much like to know what you think about it. So please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! But please do remember the rule. Be nice, would you? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter @TheWossy, where we talk about games like Transformers, but also a bunch of others. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.